Again, extend the tailbone, telescope the ribs open, breathe into the side of the waist. Contract, grow the crown of the head forwards, hug your inner thighs in, inhale, lift back up. We'll do 2 more just like this. Tap down, tap the shoulder to the knee. You need to contract the groin and the adductors to lift back up fluidly. Good, last one. Tap down, squeeze, hold, and then drop your right hand outside of your right foot. You can use a brick if you need more space. And then the left arm draws a semicircle forwards. And then telescope your right ribs underneath your left. Grow the crown of the head shoulder. Reach back as if you are trying to touch someone behind you. And you'll feel that resistance when it's enough. Ground down, press into that little toe side of your left foot. Energize the fingers away, stretch into the intercostal muscles, and then start drawing this big circle. So again, as if you were moving through honey or moving through water, just draw this big circle with your arm. Try not to lean too much weight into your right hand, so there's a softness in the right shoulder. So we don't want to create any tension in our body when we're trying to open it. Sometimes we forget about the supporting limbs and we just dump our weight into them, and we come out, we're like, why do I feel so tense? And it's because we weren't really thinking about the body as an entirety that doesn't exist independently. And then when you already change the direction of your arm, move the other way. Keep grounding down through the feet. Try to broaden the whole foundation of the asana so that we may work through the entirety of the matrix of the mind-body connection. Make this your last rotation. Good. And then lifting all the way up. Soften, bend the front knee. Windmill the hands either side of your right foot. Come to the ball of your left foot. And then take your right hand inside of your right foot and heel toe that right foot often, and we just ignore it. And it's like, I'm going to make you do what I want you to do. So try to be compassionate and listen to your body throughout the whole of this practice. Press into your hands. Step your left foot outside of your left. So you'll keep the feet as they are, and then flex your wrists. Good. And then take your wrists to the top of your hip bones. You should maybe be able to feel them. And then bring your elbows towards one another, and then use your knees to hug the elbows in towards one another. So eventually, you know, everyone has a different anatomy, a different body. Eventually, you're squeezing the knees tighter and tighter, bringing the elbows in tighter and tighter. And for some of us, we may always stay here, and this might feel enough. Some of us, first time we get on our mat, we can just slide our elbows together, and you have no idea how or why that happened. And it's just different people, different bodies. Try not to get too attached to what you think the asana should look like, or maybe what someone else's looks like. Make your way back, downward facing dog. And then slide forwards to a plank position, shoulders over wrists. Drop your knees, bend the elbows, come down. Take the hands behind you, interlock the fingers. Last time for a while, Shalabhasana. Lift the shoulders, press the knuckles towards the heels. Release your hands, baby camel. Good, sit bones to heels, squeeze the elbows, squeeze the triceps, arch your back, and then release your hands, downward facing dog. Good, left side. Step the left leg up, three-legged dog. Bring the knee to the nose. Step the foot between the hands. Step the right foot to meet the left forward fold. Ground down, Padabandha through the left foot. And then slow motion, begin to unravel half moon. Opening wide. Trying to find that activation of that left hamstring by kicking firmly down. So we're weight bearing on this left side for a considerable amount of breaths, a considerable amount of asanas, so that we really activate the hamstring. Take another big breath. And then begin to ravel yourself in. Gently unravel. Come up, half moon. Open wide. Kick the top leg firmly away. Lengthen through the belly. Grow the crown of the head away from the back heel, so these two opposing energies pulling away from one another. Contract. Use the inner thighs. Contract to lift back up. Good, so it's not quite humble warrior. Instead, we're using the same motion, but to open the shoulders, tap down to the knee. Hugging your left bum and your left hip crease underneath you. Lengthen the skin of the belly. And then pressing into your feet, lift up warrior two, open wide. And then move like you are moving through honey. Start drawing your big circles. And it's really important here not just to roll through your flexibility and kind of swing the arm, but to make it as difficult as you can. Create that traction, find that opposing force. It's how we build this really balanced, stable flexibility that is supported by the network of our strength. Good. When you're ready, change the direction of your arm, move the other way. And as you grind down through your feet, continue to squeeze the feet energetically towards one another. The hamstrings are engaged. And you want to find that equal distribution of weight through the little and the big toe sides of your feet so that we find that equipoise. Take a big breath. The toes, this is called an arrow variation. And you extend the skin of your back forwards. Soften through your mouth. Feel the two opposing directions, these two forces pulling away. Drop the knee, press into your hand, step your right foot outside of your right hand, Malasana. Good. Press into the little toe sides of your feet here. And then use your inner thighs, your adductors, to actively squeeze outwards. And then drop down onto your bum. And then take your hands behind you. Try to bring the hands either together or bound. So if you have tighter shoulders, it might feel impossible to even bring the hands even near one another, and that's totally fine. Everyone has a different body, just work with what you have. Otherwise, some of us that feel more flexible might have the hands stacked. You'll slide the bum towards the feet, maybe even the feet come a little further forwards, and then find the arch in your back as if you were in baby camel again. And you should feel this rotation and this stretch on the fronts of your arms. It's kind of like the marmite of poses. Some people really love it, and some people are just like, this is disgusting, get me out. So wherever you are, it's fine, just breathe through it. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Try to find this arch in the mid-back. And over time, when you feel more and more flexible, you'll just keep walking the hands back and back until eventually you're like an inch off the ground. You'll have to use your imagination for that, like he's not keen. Good, gently pull yourself up, walk the hands back. Just take a breath here. You can finish your practice here. If that feels good, then that's enough. Otherwise, if you want to continue, you want to go all the way and work into your king pigeon, you can just meet us back on your mat.